My ex used our daughter to win the divorce and took everything. Now her affair partner left her broken alone. She came crawling back, but I just kept walking. Hello, Reddit I plus here. I was 32 when the divorce finalized. The process itself dragged out over 2 miserable years, but the damage was done long before that. My ex-wife, Melissa, and I had been together since college. We got married at 25, had our daughter Ava a year later. I was the steady one. Worked a predictable 9 to 5, paid bills on time, made Ava's lunches, picked up the pieces whenever Melissa had a meltdown over something small like a burnt dinner or the neighbor's dog barking. Looking back, I think I loved her more than she ever loved me. Or maybe I just loved the idea of what I thought we were. It started with subtle changes. Melissa going out more with co-workers, changing passwords on her phone, spending less time at home. I blamed myself at first. Maybe I wasn't spontaneous enough. Maybe I was too rigid, too practical, too boring. But you know that feeling in your gut when something's just off? That pit that doesn't go away? I ignored it, until I couldn't anymore. One night, she came home late. She thought Ava was asleep, but she wasn't. Our 6-year-old told me, half whispering, Mommy was kissing someone else in the car. That broke something in me. I didn't confront her right away. I waited. I checked phone records, messages. I found his name, Brendan, married, 2 kids of his own. He worked in accounting, same company as her. She didn't deny it when I finally asked. In fact, she looked relieved, like I had saved her from the burden of lying. She said, I haven't been happy in years. You don't excite me anymore. Excite her. As if stability and loyalty were boring sins. She moved out the next week, said she needed space to find herself. Within 2 months, she had Brendan over at her new apartment while Ava stayed over. I didn't know until Ava told me. She called him Mommy's friend who sleeps over. That's when I filed for custody. But Melissa was smarter, or at least more ruthless. She played the role of the perfect mother in court, told the judge I was emotionally distant, accused me of being too controlling. She brought up texts I'd sent in anger, stuff like, I hope he leaves you like you left us, and twisted them to look like threats. She cried on cue. Even brought Ava to one of the hearings, had her say she wanted to live with her mom because she lets me watch movies at night and we eat pancakes for dinner. I lost custody, the house, half my retirement account. She even took my dog, the one I'd had since before we met, claimed Ava was too attached to him. I was given every other weekend and Wednesday nights. I went from bedtime kisses and packing lunches to a visitor in my daughter's life. Melissa posted smiling pictures with Brendan and Ava like they were a happy family. She got a promotion, took vacations, and I rented a 1-bedroom apartment and tried to rebuild. I'll be honest, I hit a dark place for a while. Therapy helped, so did time. I started picking up freelance, but the truth is, she did. She made every choice with both eyes open. She stepped over me to get what she thought she wanted, and when that world collapsed, she came back to the man she once called boring, because I was the safe one. The predictable one. The fallback plan. But I'm not a backup. I'm not a safety net. She asked me one last time, so you're really done? I didn't yell, didn't rage, just said, I was done the day you chose to weaponize our daughter for your own ego. I hung up. She never called again after that. Ava still goes back and forth, but she chooses to spend more time with me now. Not because I spoil her, because she feels safe, heard, loved. Last week, she made me a card for Father's Day. It had a drawing of just the 2 of us, under a tree with our dog, Max. She wrote, Thank you for never leaving me, even when everything else changed. I won't lie. Reading that broke me. Melissa once told me I didn't excite her, but I've learned that excitement fades. Stability doesn't. Loyalty doesn't. Kindness doesn't. She's alone now. I'm not. I've got Ava, my dog, my sanity, and the peace that comes from knowing I didn't need revenge. Time handled that for me. She came crawling back, but I just kept walking. It was about 3 months after that last phone call when Melissa finally tried to repair things with Ava. Up until then, our daughter had been slowly shifting her balance toward me. More time, more questions, more trust. She'd always been gentle, even with her mother, but I could sense the shift. There's a difference between obligation and affection, and Ava was no longer trying to please both sides. She was just tired. It started subtly. Melissa asked if she could start picking Ava up from school once a week, instead of just during her custody weekends. Said she wanted to be more involved. I agreed, reluctantly, but made it clear Ava had a say in the matter. She didn't fight me, not like before. It was almost like she was ashamed to, and in a weird way, I think that was harder to see than her being angry. The first pickup didn't go well. Melissa showed up 20 minutes late and blamed traffic. Ava was waiting on the school steps with her backpack in her lap, kicking gravel and checking the time every couple minutes. When I got a text from her that just said, "Mom's not here yet," I almost got in my car to go get her myself. But Melissa did show up, eventually. The following week, she picked Ava up on time but took her to a cheap diner for dinner and sat on her phone for most of the meal. Ava told me this when I tucked her into bed later that night. She didn't sound angry, just distant. She said, "I don't think Mom really knows how to talk to me anymore." I didn't have a good answer for that. I just told her I was proud of her for being honest. Then came the bigger attempt. Melissa called and asked if we could all go to family therapy together. Me, her, and Ava said she thought it might help rebuild communication. I think part of her still believed if she could fix her relationship with Ava, she might inch her way back into my good graces too. I told her Ava could decide. To my surprise, Ava said yes. We went. It was awkward. Melissa did most of the talking. She cried. She said she made mistakes, that she lost herself for a while, said she was sorry for everything, especially for using Ava during the divorce. Ava just sat there quietly, hugging a stuffed dog she'd brought in. After Melissa finished, the therapist gently asked Ava if she wanted to respond. Ava looked up and said, "I know you're sorry, but I don't know if I want to trust you again." I watched Melissa's face fall in real time. Her mouth opened, then closed again. For once, she didn't have a comeback. She nodded. That was it. Just a nod. We went to 3 more sessions. Ava did most of the talking after that, and Melissa did more listening. Sometimes she'd cry, but there was a difference this time. Less performative, more real, maybe. I couldn't tell if it was too little too late, or just late, but something happened at the last session that stuck with me. Ava brought a drawing she'd made. 3 stick figures and a dog. One adult had brown hair, me, the other had shorter blonde hair, her, and in the middle, Ava, holding both our hands. The words underneath said, "You don't have to be perfect, you just have to try." Melissa broke down. She whispered, "I'm trying, baby. I really am." And for the first time since the affair, I believed her. Trying didn't mean everything was forgiven. It didn't mean we'd ever be friends. It didn't undo the pain, the manipulation, the custody battle, the way she twisted our daughter's voice into a courtroom weapon. That will always live in some part of me, but I saw it in Ava's face. She was no longer carrying the burden of our war. She was just a kid again, trying to understand her mom and still loving her dad. That's enough for me. Melissa and I don't talk beyond logistics now. No more late-night calls, no vague hints at reconciliation. Whatever hope she might have clung to before, she's let go. I can see it in her eyes. She finally realized that some bridges don't burn with fire. Some just rot slowly until they collapse under the weight of betrayal, and now she's learning to swim. Me? I kept walking. I kept building. I eventually met someone. Her name's Callie. She's patient, kind, and makes Ava laugh like it's the easiest thing in the world. She's never tried to replace anyone, just showed up and stayed. Ava told her once, "You feel like peace." I couldn't have said it better myself.